Right now I'm going to show this compost bin, which I made, which you can see there behind me. So hopefully this does heat the greenhouse up. It's not completely done yet, so I have to add some horse manure to it to generate the heat, but I'll show you the compost bin. I have the back frame built here. You can see that. And then now I'm just putting these, whatever you would call it, along the whole area of it. Then I'm going to put wire mesh over that. But it's very simple to do. Just building kind of like a rectangular box. Well, at least just for the back part. And then also I'm leaving a gap up here at the top, just so that I can slide a piece of styrofoam in here when there's not enough compost. Like, so I'll be different slices of styrofoam that I can pull out, and I can just put it at different levels depending on how much compost I actually have inside this big bin. So here below the compost, I kind of have like a drain. It's more just a PVC pipe going from right here to over there, just to basically bring the water that comes down over here in through there and out through there. It might not even go through the pipe, it might just go through those rocks I have down there. And then on both sides I have like this screen here, same on that side with the gravel around. So we'll see if that works. So I got this 4x4 post right here just to supply some supports on this side because of the outward force of the compost. What do you call it? Pressure. Then I got chicken wire, or whatever this type of wire is called. The one with the smaller holes just over here. It's gonna come up all the way until here, and I'll put that over there, and as well over here. Then I got more reinforcements here. And then I will still have to put a bar actually going down the center through here, so I'll have to cut the styrofoam into halves as well, just because of the pressure pushing here. If there's too much, then I'm not going to be able to put that piece of styrofoam back inside because it pushes in. Well, right now I can't do it because of the styrofoam, but without the styrofoam this part goes inward. So the compost bin is getting there. It is not quite finished, but almost. I'll basically have to put some more wire, kind of fence off half of this thing and make an opening here, or some kind of slot thing where I can slide boards in, or some way to remove it so I can walk in if I needed to and put some compost, or when I need to dig it out I can move it out all of one section. So we'll put a top. I'm probably just gonna use the greenhouse plastic as a top, maybe put some boards on there just for extra support, but you can see the general design. It is fairly skinny though. This rabbit always comes here while I'm working and tries to mess with my work. Or just trying to eat my toes. You know, digging my dirt or something? No. You know, put it all back in the hole. So almost done. So I got the wire in the back, which you can see over there. Still got to put wire on this one, well, on the inside of it, along there, and then I have wire over there, and then I'll also put wire on these gaps or these holes right here, and then got to figure out what I'm going to do right here in this opening. This plan was to make some kind of entrance where I can get in or remove boards so I can pull out all the compost when it's done doing its job. So here you can see the front part of the compost bin. I don't have a lid yet. I probably won't really make a lid. Might just use the greenhouse plastic there to cover it. But you can see I have screening over here, and this section right here is kind of like a door opening for me to get inside when I need to take out the composted bits and put some new stuff in there to generate heat. But basically these slats all remove. I have just boards here which make basically a I don't know what you would call it, a canal or something. And that's just like that. So it goes all the way down to the bottom. But this whole section right here is not removable. It just has wire here, which allows for a good amount of airflow. I have wire here, which will allow heat to go in towards the greenhouse. Wire there for airflow, and wire on that side. It's built pretty much out of, I guess you can say, recycled wood. This is like wooden pallet pieces. A lot of it is from wooden pallets, like all these things are from wooden pallets. And the rest is just stuff I had lying around. I have these posts on both sides, which are in the ground about a foot or so, probably deeper, just to add support. And also I have these two pieces of 2x4s up here, which allows support this way because the compost gets compacted and can push this in that way and push this board out this way, and I don't want either. I also have kind of slots in this area right here to slip in a piece of styrofoam, because right now there's no heat being generated, so that styrofoam just allows it to be sealed off, basically, because this piece of plastic used to be sealed completely, like you see over here. I just had cut it and stapled it there. So it's about 8 feet by 1.5 feet, I think, and then maybe 4 feet tall. I would have preferred to make it bigger, which means it would generate more heat, but I don't want to take up more of my space, or more of the space from my mom's garden. So if you didn't have wire, what you could do is just use all the wood, just move it closer there with a smaller gap, just so you have some air. But you can do it with all wood, or you can do it with all wire. The purpose of the wire is just to allow more airflow, which allows for the composition to take place. And you want a good mixture of greens and browns in here, but horse manure should do a good job since it's high in nitrogen and really fairly composted, so it should generate a good amount of heat when it's packed up in here. So we'll see how that goes. Here we have some horse manure mixed with some shavings that I will add to the compost bin. So here's the finished compost bin. I finished the whole construction, plus I have the horse manure mixture inside there. So an issue that I was thinking would happen is that it wasn't going to be big enough to basically decompose the material in there, which would generate the heat. And it's been like 3 to 4 weeks, so almost a month, and it hasn't really generated any heat. So my thought process on that is that it is not wide enough. It is too narrow, because if you compare this one to the compost bins I built over there, those are a 4x4. This is an 8 by about 1.5 feet. So I'm thinking that 1.5 feet is not giving it enough area to decompose that material, because to use heat to decompose the material, or to build enough heat to decompose the material inside the compost bin, you need a bigger area. So that was my concern when building this. I was kind of limited to space since I have my mom's garden over here and I didn't want to protrude into that too much. So it shows that building a compost bin this size does not work because of the factor that it's not wide enough. So that can also help with you if you're deciding to build a compost bin to generate heat for your greenhouse. And also, now that I think about it, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to build a big enough compost bin here to generate enough heat for this size greenhouse. This is an 18 by 24 foot greenhouse. That is a 1.5 foot by 8 foot compost bin. So I'm thinking that in the area that I don't have enough space to build a big enough compost bin to actually heat the air on the inside of there, which is unfortunate since I do have warmer water fish. So I'll most likely be taking those guys out, putting them somewhere else for now, but that'll be another video. But basically, if I do want to heat it, the plan that I would have for later on would probably be to do a wood stove over on this side if I do that, or just not do warm water fish in here, or basically move them out during the winter so that they will survive since water gets colder. But that is how the compost bin looks. It is a good design all in all. It just would need to be wider. I mean, I definitely put more work into building this one than those 3 over there. They're kind of built of the same thing, wooden pallets. So that one is built out of wooden pallets that are just put together. This one, I took the wooden pallets apart to build this guy, but that is the compost bin. I don't know if I'll try using a compost bin to heat this greenhouse in this location. If I do move, maybe I'll try it again with a larger compost bin. Because one issue is also finding the stuff to put in the compost bin. Depending on your location, it could be difficult, but that is pretty much all for this video. It was, I mean, cool to build and all, but it's kind of sad that it doesn't work out in order to heat the greenhouse for the fish that I want to have in there. So we'll see how it goes. But otherwise, if you do have any questions or comments or another way or an idea to heat a greenhouse, because my thought process or my idea to heat it now would be to use a wood stove, which is a good and effective way, which you can see on YouTube as well. But that's pretty much all. So if you do have any questions, remember to leave them below. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a good one.